Hey guys, Alex and Dad from 7th Hour Films back again with Doctor Who. Last time around was Last of the Time Lords. What was that one about?
Well, the big twist, of course, was that the aliens, the Toclophanes...
They sound like a cookie, like a chocolate.
Here, have some Girl Scout Toclophanes. Anyway, they turned out to be the people from the future that the Doctor and Martha had sent on to Utopia, and they had simply lost their corporeal bodies and their heads were encased inside of them. Anyway. But somehow, I can't remember how they turned on the Master. The Doctor had set up some stuff so that he would de-age himself. And the bigger twist was that the Doctor could not kill the Master, but his wife shot him and he refused to regenerate, so the Doctor was forced to supposedly watch him die. And then the Doctor returned Martha and her family back to the time before the whole thing started, and Martha decided not to continue with him. And then he got back into the TARDIS, which was immediately rammed by a large ocean-going vessel from 1912.
Yeah, so... it was an interesting, ambitious season finale. Just to let you know, they're just going to keep getting crazier and crazier with these season finales as time goes on. They're all going to keep trying to one-up each other with what they can do. So, for better or for worse, I think most of the fandom would say. I mean, for me, I think most of the season finales are good. Some are great, some are just, like, good. I don't know. Sometimes you'll get a season finale where it's just like, I think you tried to do a little too much, but anyway, that's down the line. Merry Christmas. It's the Christmas special today.
Oh boy.
Every season we have to have a new Christmas special. Sometimes we will have multiple Christmas specials per season. In fact, here on season 4, we're going to have this, then we're going to have season 4 proper, and then we're going to have about 5 special episodes in a row, because they decided not to give Tennant another season, or he didn't want to do another season, but they just decided, well, we'll fill out a year with like about 4 or 5 specials.
Are they hour long, or are they longer?
They're probably at max an hour long. I don't know how long. Generally, the specials are longer than a normal episode, but I don't think they go above an hour long. So, and one of them actually is a 2-parter, and it actually tells you that it's a 2-parter from the get-go. So, but that'll be after the proper season 4, which we're not even into yet, technically. So, but yeah, that's pretty much. That's pretty much that. You got anything else?
Are we going to talk about Time Crash now?
Oh yeah, and we watched Time Crash last week.
So in between literally the last 10 seconds of Last of the Time Lords, something goes wrong with the TARDIS. It materializes the 5th Doctor, and of course the 10th Doctor is a great fan, but Davison doesn't understand that he's a doctor, and he thinks he's a fan from like Linda. Yeah. I can't even remember. I remember Linda was in Love and Monsters, but I can't remember what it stood for.
It was something stupid.
Yes.
It was like London Investigations Detective Agency or something like that.
All right.
All I know is that the N didn't stand for anything in Linda, so...
So he thought he was a big fan, and he goes, no, you don't understand, I'm you. And then they do what all of the Time Lords who meet each other, all of the Doctors who meet each other. I can't remember if Davison looked around and said, oh, I see you've redecorated. Yes, I don't like it.
He kind of did that, because he said, what have you done to my TARDIS? You've changed the desktop theme. What is this one, coral? So... That is the thing, and especially once we get after the 10th Doctor, is the 10th Doctor, the 9th and 10th Doctor's TARDIS is probably my least favorite TARDIS interior, because it's very 2005, which means it's very grungy and kind of gross, and I don't know. I mean, it's not really like bad per se, and it's very iconic, especially when you start with the 9th and 10th Doctor, like I did. it's very iconic, but everything else after and everything else before is such a better TARDIS interior than this one. So, but it was a fun mini-sode. We're probably not going to do another mini-sode until Night of the Doctor again. So, yeah, it'll be a little while, but I guess that's pretty much that. Unless you got anything else.
I think I mentioned this at the end of Last of the Time Lords. I have always been fascinated by the story of the Titanic. One of the very first times a teacher asked us to do research, I was in 5th grade, and I had just watched the black and white movie A Night to Remember, so I did my research over the Voyage of the Titanic. And again, never until I was much older did I put together the fact that in 1956 that I had crossed over the Atlantic Ocean literally on the same route as the Titanic, except in reverse. We started in New York and went over. We didn't stop in England because I think Plymouth or one of the towns on the southwest coast of England was the last stop of the Titanic before it set sail. We sailed through the English Channel, if I recall correctly, and went up to Bremerhaven in Germany. But same time of year, March. I don't remember seeing any icebergs. I do remember it was very cold and that the waves were quite large to the point where in our beds there were seat belts. We literally had to be seat belted into the beds because the boat was rocking. How do I get so far that we didn't want to roll out? And the other thing, the other visual image I remember was we went down to the mess hall, what today would be the dining room. It was a converted troop ship. And there were rubber mats on the table to keep your silverware and plates and everything from sliding around on the rocking of the boat. And I do remember, I guess I had tomato soup or something for dinner one night. And I remember looking down into the bowl. And although I had gotten used to the rocking of the boat, you look down and your soup is sloshing from side to side in the bowl. And that was very weird. 2 vague memories of that entire episode.
Well, so yeah, maybe, who knows? Maybe we'll see some of that in this episode. Who knows? But yeah, if that's basically it, then we might as well jump right in.
All right. Now this is also after Cameron's Titanic, wasn't it? Didn't that come out in the 90s?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was very convenient.
It's odd that they would be playing Christmas music in March, if this is indeed the last voyage. I don't like the statue in the background.
Yeah, at least you can see this one move.
Oh, okay.
The Titanic is now in orbit above Sol 3, also known as Earth. Population, human. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Christmas.
Yeah, it's not the same Titanic.
Just like it wasn't the Orient Express.
Yeah.
Mummies on the Orient Express.
Oh, also
Mind boggles.
Also new theme. It's more rock and roll now.
Kylie Minogue, really?
It was before she was super famous. That's what people told me.
Yeah.
So.
Regulations say the bridge has to be staffed by 2 crew members at any one time, sir.
Well said. Very good.
By the book.
What should be nice and quiet? It's only a level 5 planet down below. They don't even know we're here. Silent night. I believe they call it.
It would be hilarious if Torch would just shot them out of the sky.
Silent night.
And I should know because my name is Max.
Pop back to the TARDIS for his tuxedo.
It's like Seth, he can handle this. Software problem, that's all. Leave it there, sir. Makers! It's another one down. What's going on with these things?
This does not bode well.
That's 8.
Sounds daft.
You dreamt of another sky. New sun. New air. New life. A whole universe teeming with life. Why stand still when there's all that life out there?
So you travel a lot?
All the time, just for fun. Well,
Well, he's moved on from Martha really fast.
I had to name the 5 husbands of Joofy Cristal in By the Light of the Asteroid. Did you ever watch By the Light of the Asteroid?
is that the one with the twins?
That's it. Oh, it's marvellous.
But we're not good enough for that box. They think we should be in steerage.
Can't have that, can we?
Did you do that?
Maybe. I'm Marvin Bannock. This is my good woman, Foon.
Foon. Hello, I'm the doctor.
Oh, I'm going to need a doctor time I finish with that buffalo. Have a buffalo wing. They must be enormous, these buffalo. So many wings.
And I shall be taking you to old London town in the country of UK, ruled over by good King Wenceslas. Now, human beings worship the great god Santa, creature with ears and claws, and his wife Mary. And every Christmas Eve, the people of UK go to war with the country of Turkey. They then eat the turkey people for Christmas dinner, like savages. But don't stray too far, it could be dangerous. Any day now they start boxing.
It's a different planet. I'm standing on a different planet. There's concrete and shops, alien shops, real alien shops. Look, no stars in the sky. And it smells. It stinks!
Christmas before last, we had that big bloody spaceship, everyone standing on a roof. And then last year, that Christmas star electrocuting all over the place, draining the Thames.
This place is amazing.
Her Majesty the Queen has confirmed that she'll be staying in Buckingham Palace throughout the festive season to show the people of London and the world that there's nothing to fear.
God bless her. We stand vigil.
Well, between you and me, I think Her Majesty's got it right. As far as I know, this year, nothing to worry about.
And again,
God save the Queen playing in the background.
What could possibly happen if the shields are offline?
it's an emergency. Get to the light.
I'm sorry, sir. It's my duty.
Oh, the brave man.
Has anyone checked the external shielding?
Information. You are all going to die.
I don't know what your problem is with the angels. They seem like nice people.
At least they're not weeping.
And
Or are they?
who could have expected this to happen? Oh, and another one. Ow, jeez.
That's my ship over there.
Where?
That box, that little blue box.
Aww.
That's a spaceship.
Oi, don't knock it.
It's a bit small.
Bit distant. Trouble is, once it's set adrift, it's programmed to lock onto the nearest centre of gravity, and that would be the Earth.
You know, when it's set adrift, why don't you have it programmed to lock onto the sonic screwdriver?
Stop it right now!
Yeah.
22 to the bridge.
Odd job.
The moment they're gone, we lose orbit.
The planet.
Oh, yes. If we hit the planet, the nuclear storm explodes and wipes out life on Earth.
Jeez.
1, we are going to climb through this ship. B, no. 2, we're going to reach the bridge. 3, or C, we're going to save the Titanic. And coming in a very low fall, or D, well, that little IV in brackets, they use in footnotes. Why?
And who the hell are you anyway?
I'm the Doctor. I'm a Time Lord. I'm from the planet Gallifrey in the constellation of Kasterborous. I'm 903 years old, and I'm the man who's going to save your lives and all 6 billion people on the planet below. You got a problem with that?
No.
In that case, Allons-y.
I would trust him. You start saying that to me, yeah, I'll trust you.
Rather ironic, but this is very much in the spirit of Christmas. It's a festival of violence. They say that human beings only survive depending on whether they've been good or bad in barbaric.
Look, can I just call you Bala? It's going to save a lot of time.
No. Balacafalata.
All right then, Balacafalata. There's a gap in the middle, see if you can get through.
I dialed the competition line 5,000 times. That's 5,000 credits. I might as well have paid for the tickets. I've been hiding the phone bill for months now.
5,000 credits? You spent 5,000 credits?
Don't hate me.
But if it was 7,000 credits, he saved 2,000.
Yes, you can. Let me.
Kick him.
Pour water on him.
You will tell me the point of origin of your command structure.
I can't hold it.
Information. Deck 31.
Thank you.
Good job.
100% shielded. What's down there?
I'll try intensifying the scanner.
Let me know if you find anything. And keep those engines going.
Saved you some. You might be a time king from Garabin, but still complete.
Yeah, thanks. Doctor, must be well past midnight, Earth time. Christmas Day.
So it is. Merry Christmas.
This Christmas thing, what's it all about?
Long story. I should know. I was there.
Hey.
I got the last room.
But if the planet's waking up, can't we signal them? They could send up a rocket or something.
Got the last room. There was no more room in the end.
Shuffles.
Oh, who designed it like this?
Is that the only way across?
This nitrophene metal is stronger than it looks.
All the same, Rixton's right. Me and Food should...
Oh no!
I told you! I told you! Just shut up, shut up!
Bring him back! Can't you bring him back? Bring him back, Doctor! You promised me!
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That was just unnecessarily cruel.
It's just seconds. Keep going.
It was like the bridge in Temple of Doom and in Last Crusade.
I'm afraid we forgot the traditions of Christmas. That angels have wings.
Oh no, they fly now.
Balacafalata. Route. Balacafalata. Fireball!
Oh, good job. Oh, they fall now.
No, but you gotta give me that drink, remember?
Pretty girl.
Oh, no, Banacafalata. He was too young. Oh, she's a hero.
Unlike the Ninth Doctor, where nobody dies, this one everybody dies.
Yep.
No more. There's something down on deck 31. I'm going to find out what it is.
What if you meet a host?
Well, I'll just have some fun.
Sounds like you do this kind of thing all the time.
Not my choice. All I do is travel. That's what I am, just a traveller. Imagine it. No tax, no bills, no boss.
Oh,
Just the open sky.
that sounds amazing. Good job.
Now recharge.
3 questions to save my life, am I right?
Information.
That's one.
Correct.
No, that wasn't one of them. I didn't mean it. That's not fair. Can I start again?
Information.
That's 2.
Yeah.
No.
No, that wasn't a question either. And stowaways should be arrested and taken to the nearest figure of authority. And I reckon the nearest figure of authority is on deck 31. Final question. Am I right?
Information. Correct.
Brilliant.
Good job.
Take me to your leader.
I've always wanted to say that.
And I should know, cause...
My name is Max.
It really does that.
The hell is this?
I'm the doctor, hello.
Information. Stowaway.
Well...
Kill him.
Oh, wait, but you can't, not now. Come on, Max. You're giving me so much good material. Like, how to get ahead in business. Hey, Ed?
Situation report.
Information. Titanic is still in orbit.
Let me see. Should have crashed by now. What's gone wrong?
There's a doctor in the ointment.
The engines are still...
The business is wiped out.
And the whole board thrown in jail for mass murder.
While you sit there, safe inside the impact chamber.
I have men waiting to retrieve me from the ruins, and enough off-world accounts to retire me to the beaches of Penhaxico too, where the ladies, so I'm told, are very fond of metal.
So that's the plan.
Mr. Capricorn! I resign.
Oh.
Well, this is a very sad Christmas episode.
We fly now.
Titanic falling.
What's your first name?
Alonso.
You're kidding me.
What?
That's something else I've always wanted to say. Alonso.
Oh, finally.
Now, why isn't this being picked up on radar?
Could you get me Buckingham Palace?
And as dawn rises over Great Britain, it seems that this year the City of London has escaped alien intervention. Has remained in residence in defiance of extraterrestrial attack.
It means security code 771. Now get out of there! Open the door!
We gotta get out of here!
Oh, the corgis, the corgis!
Woo! It's a Christmas miracle.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. Happy Christmas.
Now you can travel forever. You're not falling, Astrid. You're flying.
With style. It's a long night.
A night to remember.
Yeah.
Doctor, I never said thank you.
Go do better with your life.
Just before the crash, I sold all my shares, transferred them to his rivals. It's made me rich. What do you think of that?
Of all the people to survive, he's not the one you would have chosen. But if you could choose, Doctor, if you could decide who lives and who dies, that would make you a monster.
Just think of it this way. Someone's happy at Christmas. Oh, it's snowing.
So Great Britain is part of Europe here. Just across the British Channel, you've got Great France and Great Germany.
Well, it's just France and Germany. Only Britain is great.
And they're all at war with the continent of Ham-Erica.
No. Well, not yet.
It's all done by computer. I didn't really know the currency, so I thought £1 million might cover it.
£1 million? Pounds?
Enough for trinkets. I've got money.
Yes, you have.
It's an incredible feeling when you get it.
Just have a nice life.
But I can have a house. A proper house with a garden and a dawn. Oh, Doctor, I will make you proud.
That doesn't come back to bite him. Astra does mean of the stars, if I recall correctly.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Copper.
Oh. I forgot about that. So that's spoilers for next season.
Oh.
We can't have that. Alrighty.
I think Verity would be proud. Now, that is a huge amount of action for a Doctor Who episode.
Yeah.
But, I mean, none of it was gratuitous. Again, you had Christopher Eccleston literally having an episode where nobody dies.
He did say, though, just this once. Here's the thing. You know how Martha just left? Don't get used to that. Because companion exits are difficult in modern Doctor Who. And Martha, you're just going to appreciate after a while how Martha just walked away. Starting here, Astrid, it didn't go well. Sure, she is Stardust, but it's not what she wanted to be.
Yeah. But again, action-packed, very much more so than the average Doctor Who episode. But it was all in service to the plot. And again, you got this, multi-trillionaire corporation doing bad stuff, and Max says, definite parallels to, certain things going on even today, 20 years, 18 years later. But, it's basically the people who literally give their lives to save other people that they don't even really know. And sadly, the guy that survives is the how do we say this politely? The a-hole investment banker. And like Mr. Copper said, that's not the guy you would have chosen. But then again, if you could choose who lives and dies, you would be a monster.
Well, yeah. It definitely, at least, with this special, you start to really see, though, with these specials that it's like these are all good, but they are always meant for spectacle.
Yeah.
And because honestly, they never really go into like deep plot stuff with these specials, because it's just supposed to be airing. Christmas Day or the day after, when everyone is, in their food comas, but you turn on the TV, and it's an interesting thing too, because it's only in modern Doctor Who that they establish this new Christmas tradition in the UK of there will always be a Christmas episode of Doctor Who. Until you get to the Jodie Whittaker era, then it becomes a New Year's special, and then they change that after that era. That was weird. That was a weird time for Doctor Who, but...
Do you remember, was it in The Chase, where the first Doctor literally turned to the camera and said, "And Merry Christmas to all of you"? We thought that was so incredibly bad.
That was in the middle of the Daleks Master Plan.
All right.
Which was already, there was like 12 parts, and like it started off really good, and then it just petered out, and in the middle of that was that Christmas episode, and it just sucked. But this one, it obviously is much better because it's just a standard episode of Doctor Who that takes place at Christmas.
But it's also, again, who wrote this one?
RTD.
Just the whole fact that Mr. Copper takes some very standard stuff that we know about Christmas, and then it just kind of metastasizes into this. Yes, the people of England are at war with the people of Turkey, and they end up eating the Turkey people. And it's like, no. So it is really funny, and I mean, this is pretty much an entire episode without human characters. I mean, they're kind of humans, but mostly Earth characters. Like, none of them really are from Earth except the old man down at the stands, staying in London because the Queen's still in Buckingham Palace, so I'll stay here in solidarity. It's a good old man. Maybe we'll see him again. Who knows? He does look familiar.
It's Bernard Cribbins.
Oh.
So, this is his first appearance in modern Doctor Who.
But he doesn't come back as the same character, does he?
He kind of does.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if they had planned that when he was in this episode, and then maybe he just got cast again later. So, but yeah, and it is funny. I think, if I recall correctly, people told me that the Queen was a fan of Doctor Who, so it's just a nice little, even though obviously that's not her. that wasn't her in the cameo, but it's a good nod.
Which is odd because she did do a cameo with Daniel Craig, if I recall correctly. And I can't remember what it was about, but she did something with him as 007. And I remember it got parodied mercilessly because in 2017 to 2021, she was basically telling 007, this gentleman there in the United States, Mr. Bond, make it look like an accident, if I recall correctly.
Well, yeah. So, who knows? Maybe someday in the future we'll get a cameo of King Charles in Doctor Who. I don't know. That is a sad thing now, looking back on this episode, that not only has Bernard Cribbins passed away, but also the Queen now.
Yeah.
So it's like now both of that, like, enough time has passed, so, which is sad, but anyway. But yeah, it's a very interesting episode about, this thing, called the Titanic, with, that's sort of based on, it's related to the original crash of the Titanic, and this really, really rich person goes in and somehow it crashes. Now, not only is that a parallel to the Titanic, but that's also a parallel to something else that's happened in the past few years. And I thought of that just before we started this episode, and I thought, that's what, at least this was intentional.
Now, is this 2007 still? Christmas 2007, or is this 2008?
It should still be 2007.
Okay. Because if it was, then it kind of very eerily predicted the economic crash of 2008. Because you might remember, during the American elections in 2008, the whole Lehman Brothers, financial crash that happened then was because these not tech bros, but these, investment bros basically started buying up companies and dismantling them and simply making money off of it. And then the whole thing, the house of cards, collapsed on them. And, it took years to come out of that. But that's essentially what they were saying here, is that these guys are worthless people. And it's sad that they were the ones who survived.
It is sad, too, that... was it Rickson?
Yeah.
Is that he didn't learn a lesson. Like, I was kind of waiting for that moment of like, yes, thank you for saving me. I feel terrible, and maybe he would go on and do good things, but no, he's just like, wow, I'm glad I sold all my shares beforehand. Now I'm rich. It's like, all right, man. We're trying to have a Christmas lesson here. You're about to be visited by some ghosts tonight, I think. So,
but and again, I want to just point out that thing about. Putting in just little bitty references to history, the fact that he was in Bethlehem 2,000 years previously and managed to get the last room at the inn, doesn't have to say what happened after that, but anybody with any knowledge of the New Testament would go, oh, so that's why they had to go to the stable or the cave or wherever it was.
There will be another time, much later on, in a historical episode of Doctor Who, where they will accidentally kind of cause something where they just kind of look around and they're like, wait a minute, if we're not here, then the thing doesn't happen, so now we have to stay here. This is awkward. So yeah, it is kind of like that, where it's like, well, why wasn't there a room available? It's like, well, all of them were booked up, all the people that were there, and this one strange guy with this weird accent and his very light complexion. So, but we have no idea when that was for him, what face that was. We have no idea. So, and then all the side characters were really good, even if they died horribly. But
there was a lot of echoes of not just the Titanic, but the Poseidon Adventure as well, where essentially some characters very similar to the ones in that one. But again, most of them end up perishing. But
yeah.
You've never seen the Poseidon Adventure, have you?
No, I haven't.
Well, we need to watch the old one, not the remake.
Some of it, I will say, was just kind of cruel. The way Morven just fell and died, and then Foon was just like, well, it's not living without him. At least she took an angel with her, but still. But yes, some of it, because even like, Banacafalata died a hero and stuff, and some of them, but it's just like, but the two of them, it kind of felt like a thing of like, well, we weren't going to make them survive. They were going to die at some point. Haven't figured out a better way of doing it. The metal gave way. The metal gave way and he fell. I don't know what to tell you. So it's also just a shame too, because they specifically like have this nice moment. She dialed the line 5,000 times, which is equal to 5,000 credits. So she might as well just bought the friggin' tickets anyway. So like that, but that was a nice moment between them. And then they died horrifically. So. And then Astrid dies. And Astrid, looking back on it now, I'm like, she could have ducked out of that thing very easily before it went over.
I kind of thought that's what was happening, that she would jump out of it at the last moment.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They probably... It was either that, or they had to write in some reason why she couldn't come with him. For a number of reasons. One reason I'm thinking, just because for some reason Modern Doctor Who has this weird aversion to the Doctor's companion being anything but just a normal person from present day London. Like all of his companions will be that pretty much from now on. Like, we're not really gonna do aliens and stuff. So that's one thing, because she's not from Earth. The other thing I would have to assume is you just can't have an entire season with Kylie Minogue. And again, I don't know like if this was completely before she got famous, or she was getting famous at that point. So I don't know. I had to get my lesson in Kylie Minogue the first time, because I didn't know who she was. So
she's Sabrina Carpenter.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. It's like if there was a Doctor Who episode and there was a companion, it was Taylor Swift, I'd be like, okay, I know who Taylor Swift is. Certainly now she's probably too much money for the BBC to deal with. And I would imagine Sabrina Carpenter is the same way. At least I do know who Sabrina Carpenter is because I've been gaslit into thinking she's real. That's a whole other conversation that it's just me being stupid.
A couple of episodes back.
Yeah, I don't... That was 42. Season 3, Episode 7. If you want to go watch the most unhinged discussion we've ever had. So, that was fun. Oh. It was fun because I will always say that was one of the worst reactions we've ever had because it was just not that interesting of an episode, and it was like a really short reaction, but it was one of my favorite discussions we've had. It's like right up there with the 11-minute talk of hair dryers that we had during the first Doctor's era. It was a long time ago now.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway. If I remember right, there was something else about... people told me the guy that plays Mr. Copper, apparently, like, maybe people will have to say it in the comments again, because obviously I don't remember what they said, but it was something like they were going to bring him back for a cameo or something, and the actor was, like, really pissy after this and never wanted to come back to Doctor Who or something. I don't know what that was about. People can say it in the comments, but I'm pretty sure people told me that the first time. So
the fact that Doctor Who is so popular, it seems to me that there are people who would want to go. It was like Star Trek Next Generation and Big Bang Theory. Stephen Hawking loved those shows and actually went on and appeared on them. So it seems to me that celebrities who enjoy Doctor Who, up to and including George Lucas or Steven Spielberg, would at some point figure out a way to say, "Hey, I'm available."
I mean, it's just the most popular British show. I think I can say that comfortably. That is the most popular show from the UK. So at the very least, I would think actors from the UK at some point would at least want to be in an episode. Yeah. I don't know. At least maybe a lot of young actors. I don't know. Maybe not Patrick Stewart. I don't know if we'll ever get Patrick Stewart in Doctor Who. I'd love to be proven wrong though. So, it does remind me of like when I did Broadchurch, which was a crime drama from the UK, and the funniest thing about that was recognizing like 75% of the cast from other things. And like in the first episode, I think there was a comment that was like, yeah, this show basically has every actor that Britain has ever produced. And I was like, okay, cool. So
now, was that before or after he was on this?
That was after, because that was, I don't remember when exactly that was, but it was between the 10th Doctor's era and the 13th Doctor's era, because it has both David Tennant and Jodie Whittaker in it. So it was a really good, interesting show. Yeah. So, but that is the funny thing, like watching a lot of these British shows, is just seeing which actors keep popping up in all of these. So
I was having a discussion some time ago. Somebody brought up Ian McKellen, and of course today he's basically known for the Lord of the Rings movies and when he was in the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
And I said, did you know he was a stage actor and did a lot of stuff at Royal Shakespeare? And I said, but beyond that, the original Broadway production of Amadeus, the very young Ian McKellen played Salieri, and Mark Hamill was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And people went, what? Mark Hamill, when was that? I said, it's been about early 80s, 81, 82, 83, somewhere around there. This is before the big movie came out. And of course, after the movie, everybody thinks, F. Murray Abraham's the only person that ever played that. No, Sir Ian McKellen did that. And I just watched that Scarlet Pimpernel, where a even younger Ian McKellen from 78 or 79 played the villain Chauvelin. So,
how old is Ian McKellen? He's in his 80s, isn't he?
Yeah, I would say he's got to be at least in his 80s.
Because it's one of those things with when you talk about Mark Hamill, where it's just like I kind of forget Mark Hamill is getting older now, and because like for the most part, like he's done plenty of roles, and he's done a lot of voice acting roles. He's played the Joker, he was in Avatar and stuff like that, and recently came back to do the sequel trilogy as older Luke Skywalker. But I kind of forget, so every time I think Mark Hamill, I think of how he looked in 1977, and then I was like, huh. I guess, yeah, obviously he's older now. I guess he's not that much younger, probably. I mean, I think he's probably in his 60s.
Yeah.
But he's honestly not that far off from where Ian McKellen is when you put everything together, so. I don't know. I guess the only other thing for this episode in particular is the Doctor finally got his one wish of finding someone named Alonso, so that he could say that poor guy who gets tossed around by the ship when it gets hit. He's dealing with all this, and he was shot prior to this. It's like that poor guy went through a lot.
Yeah.
So I hope he gets a freaking battlefield promotion or something after this. So, but yeah, it was a lovely Christmas where 1,997 people died, and the other 3 are, well, they did live, but that's about it. So, yeah, next time we're starting on Season 4, Episode 1. So, and this is the last proper season with David Tennant. So, you got anything else?
I got nothing.
Then that is basically it. With all of that being said, we're Alex and Dad from 7th Hour Films, and we will see you guys next time. And Merry Christmas again. It's probably May by the time this comes out.
Easter.
Yeah. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of our modern Doctor Who reactions, as well as another playlist for every Doctor Who reaction that's on the channel, with the new season coming up too, although it's probably already started by the time this comes out. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.